Hello everyone, the course name is Banking Regulation and Operations. The unit is Paying and Collecting Banker, and the topic that I'll be covering through this presentation will be on the various duties and responsibilities of a collecting banker. So let's look at the various duties of a collecting banker. The first duty of a collecting banker is to ensure due care and diligence in the collection of check. The collecting banker is bound to show due care and diligence in the collection of checks presented to him. In case a check is entrusted with the banker for collection, he is expected to show it to the drawee bank with a reasonable time. According to Section 84 of the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881, where a check is not presented for payment within a reasonable time of its issue, and the drawer or person in whose account it is drawn has the right to have the check paid, and if he suffers actual damage through the delay, then he is discharged to the extent of such damages. In simple terms, whenever a check is being presented to a bank for collection or some other process, the bank is supposed to put it for collection within a particular period of time, say for the next day or within a day or two. If the bank is not able to do it and the customer suffers a loss due to the delay in the presentment of the check by the banker, then the customer always has got the right to claim for damages due to such delay. Second duty of a collecting banker is the serving notice of dishonor. So when a check is dishonored, the collecting banker is bound to give notice of the same to his customer within a reasonable time. It may be noted here, when a check is returned for the confirmation of endorsement, notice must be sent to his customer. If the banker fails to give such a notice, then the collecting banker will be liable to the customer for any loss that the customer may have suffered on account of such failure. So as soon as the customer's check gets dishonored, it's the bank's duty to provide the notice for such dishonor to the customer. And if the bank fails to do that and the customer suffers some kind of financial or reputational damages due to such reason, then the banker will be held liable to make good the loss of the customer. The third duty of the collecting banker is to act as an agent for collection. In case a check is drawn on a place where the banker is not a member of the clearinghouse, okay, then in that case, the banker can employ another banker who is a member of the clearinghouse in that particular locality for the purpose of collecting the check. So in this case, the banker will become a substituted agent for the customer. The next duty of a collecting banker is regarding the remittance of proceeds to the customer. In case a collecting banker has realized the check, the banker should pay the proceeds to the customer as per the customer's direction. So generally the amount is credited to the custom account of the customer, but if the customer requests in writing, then the proceeds can also be remitted to the other customer by way of a demand draft. So it is always based on the request by the customer how the remittance should go to the other end customer, right? The last duty of a collecting banker is to provide collection of bills of exchange. Although there is no legal obligation for a banker to collect the bills of exchange for its customers, but typically bank gives such facility to its customers. So in case of collection of bills, a banker should examine the title of the depositor to obtain the statutory protection under the section 131 of the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881. So collection of bill of exchange, although is not a legal mandate for a bank to give as a service to the customer, but still many banks do give that service. But in that case, the banker should be very sure of the title of the customer and should be sure that the title of the customer is in good faith for the banker. So coming to the various rights of a collecting banker. So these are the various rights for a collecting banker. The first right is the right to charge back or refund. If a collecting banker has made provisional settlement with its customer for an item and fail by the reason of dishonor, then the bank may revoke or cancel the settlement given by it, charge back the amount of any credit given for the item to the account of its customer, or obtain refund for the from its customer whether or not it is able to return the item. So this is the case of right to charge back or refund. The second right of a collecting banker is the right of item. So right of item by collecting banker says that a collecting banker can return an item when it is sent or delivered to the bank's customer or transferor or pursuant to its instructions. right? The third right says that the right of depository bank to refund. So the depository bank, that is also the payer, may charge back the amount of an item to the account of its customer or obtain refund in accordance with the section governing return of an item received by a payer bank for credit on its book. The next right is the right of chargeback unaffected. So the right of chargeback, which is discussed in the first point, okay, is not affected in certain cases, and there are two major cases for that. First one, the previous use of a credit given for the item, or second reason, failure by a bank to exercise ordinary care with respect to the item, but a bank so failing remains liable, right? And the last right of a collecting banker says effect of failure to charge back or claim refund. So a failure to charge back or claim refund does not affect other rights of the bank against the customer or any other party. So these are the various duties and responsibilities or right of a collecting banker no, available under the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881 in India. Thank you so much.